Coming to you live from my apartment, it's Rob Has a Podcast. And now here's the guy who's just voted 20 times today for fan favorite for Izzy the Dog, Rob Cesternino. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our Friday night Big Brother recap. What's this? It's a recap of a recap. Oh, my God, my mind is melting. First off, let me bring in the guy who has been watching 39 episodes of Big Brother this season. And also many, many, many days, 90-some-odd days of live feeds. Here he is, Mr. Brian Lynch. Brian, how are you?
I'm great. Hello, everyone. I'm sure you're glad to have finally gotten that Izzy segment that you've been long waiting for.
I've been long waiting for it, and here it is on the recap show. Anyway, so it's the recap of the recap here, and I wanted just to do a show tonight because I felt like I didn't want to leave you guys hanging and not do a show after. I mean, it is an episode. We've done 38 of these things so far. This is the 39th episode tonight. You know, Brian, one other time I tried to do 39 things in a row, and I ended up stopping at 38, and I've regretted it. So I figured that I needed to go the distance.
That totally confuses me, Rob. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, I'll be mysterious and see if anybody can figure out what I'm talking about. But we are going to have our finale coverage on Wednesday, but I said the other night that I'm actually not going to be able to be part of our finale coverage because I'm going to the house to do interviews in the backyard, which I'm very much looking forward to. It's always been one of my dreams to get to go to the Big Brother house and get to go inside. So I'm really, really excited about that, to go do interviews for entertainment tonight and talk to all these people that we've been watching all summer, but unfortunately I can't be in two places at one time. So we are going to have our live coverage on Wednesday night. I hope you can still join us for that. And we're going to have Kurt Clark. We're going to have Ian Terry, and of course Brian Lynch. So I think it's going to be a great, great coverage of the Big Brother finale. Right, Brian?
Of course.
Yes. I think it's going to be really, really, really good. So I figured, you know, if I was going to be there on Wednesday, maybe we wouldn't have done a show tonight. But I figured I did not want to, you know, go away just yet and not do one last recap if I had a chance to do it.
One last recap.
One last recap. The two bros. Anyway, so Brian, I had some very exciting news in the world of Rob Has a Podcast. Last night we had Corinne over to do her very brutal assessment of the Survivor 29 cast, which is a big fan favorite every season that we do that with Corinne. And at the top of that show, I announced that we were going to be doing a live Survivor Know-It-Alls in New York in 2 weeks on Wednesday, October 1st. At the Gotham Comedy Club. Stephen Fishback and I were going to recap the second episode of Survivor live with an audience, and I'm happy to say, but I'm also sad to say, that show is sold out. That's it, Brian.
Awesome.
That's sold out.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so sold out in 24 hours. We're really, really excited about that. And the East Coast is demanding more Rob Has a Podcast. So we listened, and you guys responded. So first off, thank you guys very much. I'm really excited to meet so many of the RHAP community members that I haven't met yet over on the East Coast. And so that's going to be coming up in a couple of weeks. And I've already been asked, okay, when can we do this again? So hopefully we'll try to get a bigger room and try to accommodate more people. And also that night, I will let people know where we're going to be afterwards. So we'll try to go out for a little bit afterwards and make it into more of a meetup coming up October 1st in Manhattan. All right. So, Brian, we are just a few days away from the Big Brother finale, the 90-minute season finale of Big Brother 16. Very, very exciting stuff. Of course, we are going to talk a little bit about what happened, some of the more interesting moments that they decided to touch on here tonight, some of the strategy stuff that happened at the top of the episode as far as Victoria and Cody both thinking that they're in a final two and the other person is getting played by Derrick and never thinking for a second that they might be the one being played by Derrick. And then we'll talk about some stuff from the feeds and talk about who has won what so far as we head towards Wednesday night. But one of the things I want to do tonight is really open it up to questions from you guys and sort of, you know, especially if you have broad questions about the season and stuff like that. So kind of like how Derrick and Cody and Victoria were looking back in a way. I don't mind answering questions that are sort of looking back in a way of, should we have known at this point, or what did you think about this? So that might be a fun way to kind of do this also on a night that not too much stuff went down on the show.
Yeah, and there was a lot during the show that was interesting. I think possibly the one thing that stuck out to me the most was all of the rewinds on Derrick's DRs and him saying that he was using the bomb squad along the way. I'm sure they didn't really make that that clear in the normal episodes.
Yeah. So that was new footage that Derrick said he was just using the bomb squad to get further along, but he wasn't really considering himself part of the bomb squad?
Yeah, like pretty much the whole. My perspective is that he was always pitching his loyalty along the way.
Yeah.
And that's really not what was happening. At least I know now that he was at least in the diary room saying that along the way he was using the bomb squad. But of course he was. He was using everyone.
Uses everybody. That's his move. Anyway, so we want to make sure we get your questions into the show tonight. So we've got the chat room going on, robhasawebsite.com. We've also got our Twitter open. Scott St. Pierre is monitoring Twitter, hashtag RHAP. And then also, of course, on our YouTube channel at robhasawebsite.com/YouTube. Brian, we are so close to 20,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel.
That's amazing.
It's really.
What did you start with?
I started with 0. Yeah.
Awesome.
We've gone all the way up to almost 20,000. And no, a lot of it came this summer during Big Brother. So I think we started this season of Big Brother around 15,000. And we've really made a big push over the course of Big Brother. So thank you to everybody who's come on board over the summer. We've got so much coming up also in the next couple days here on RHAP as a podcast. This is going to be such a crazy busy week. Tomorrow, we're going to do a live show on Saturday afternoon. I'm going to preview the new season of The Amazing Race, and we're going to do our cast preview with Jessica Leese. That's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Jessica and I are going to go through the 11 new teams competing on The Amazing Race. So we will talk about that live with you guys on Google Hangout. I'll be making the show page either later tonight or worst case scenario tomorrow morning. So that's coming up. Sunday night, we're going to have our Patron Cast number 6 for those of you guys who are the patrons of RHAP as a podcast. We're going to do that live, I believe, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. That's coming up this Sunday, and Nicole and I are going to be headed back to New York later on in the month, so that's why it's a little bit earlier. Usually we do those at the end of the month, so the upcoming Patron Cast is going to be on Sunday. Plus, I'm shooting to get another Survivor preview coming up on Monday. Then we're starting to get towards all of the craziness of the Big Brother finale and the Survivor premiere on Wednesday. And then, of course, Survivor Know-It-Alls kicks off on Thursday. We'll have our big Survivor recap podcast with Kim Sprodlin to talk about the first episode. And then I will have interviews with the top 3 of the Big Brother cast as well. So Victoria, Derrick, and Cody interviews all coming up next week on RHAP as a podcast. So it's crazy, Brian.
Those should be amazing interviews. What are you going to ask Victoria?
I don't know. I've been thinking about what am I going to ask some of the other people, because I'll probably have the opportunity to talk to everybody from the jury also when I go to the backyard. And so I've really been trying to think about things that I would like to ask them. So if you have ideas for questions for those people, I've been trying to think of the best way to get them from you guys. But you could leave them in the comments. That might be a good way to sort of collect them if you have things that you really would like to hear the answers from. And again, I think that those interviews, especially when the people come right out of the house, are probably pretty tame. I know that I did not love it last season when Aaron was sort of confronted on things that she said, and she didn't even know what Julie Chen was talking about when she asked her about. I always feel like that's sort of unfair. So I have a feeling that people will say, "Oh, why don't you unload on Frankie? Why did he say that he was gonna why Caleb and Cody should double team Victoria?" And I think that if you ask him that question, he's gonna, I don't even remember that.
Oh, definitely, and a lot of times we see those shocked faces in those immediate post-game interviews where people don't really understand or remember things that have been said in the house.
Yeah, so it's going to be definitely an interesting experience, but I'm very much looking forward to it. All right, so much to get to. Brian, let's start with the top of the show tonight on Big Brother 16. And I thought it was really super interesting that after Cody's big speech to about the reveal of the hitman to Caleb, Victoria had like this big grin on her face. She's like, "Really, Cody? I can't believe Cody thinks that there's a hitman alliance, Derrick. Like, we've been together since day one." And he's like, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. Brian, who is the real alliance for Derrick? Just so we know.
The real alliance for Derrick is the family alliance, but it's not the family alliance that Victoria was talking about. It's the alliance with his wife and his daughter, and no one in the house is coming between him and his family.
The brother and sister alliance is not the true alliance?
Of course not.
That's the worst name ever for an alliance, the brother and sister alliance.
I don't think that was a serious suggestion from Derrick. That was more of putting things into perspective for Victoria. It's a brother and sister relationship is what we have, is what he was telling her.
There you go. So what is Derrick's ultimately, what does he want to do? Who does he want to go to the final two with, or does he care, Brian?
He's thinking now that he has to beat. I mean, are we in spoilers? Where are we going to talk spoilers?
No, don't talk about spoilers yet. I'll hit the buzzer when we get there.
He just wants to get there.
Okay, he doesn't care.
He can beat, like we've seen it. He was saying he absolutely feels like both of these people would take him to the final two. Now, whether or not that turns out to be true, I don't know, because I've been notoriously poor at predicting these final three outcomes and the decisions people make, because when it gets down to three, it becomes clear to people that both of those people are your competitors, and you really can't share any information to an extent.
Now, I mean, is it 50-50 for Derrick? Is it 51-49 one way or another?
For who he would rather take?
Yes.
I'm not sure, because he tells her something different than he tells Cody.
Right.
And from what we saw in the diary room with all the hitman talk, he's suggesting that he would take Cody.
Okay, so we'll see exactly how that's going to play out. Do you think that Derrick will make a push to try to win, without getting into the spoilers? Do you think that Derrick will be trying to win this competition? Does Derrick want to be the final HoH?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Because Dan Giesling did not want to be the final HoH, correct? In Big Brother 14.
No, Dan did try to win that final competition, and especially with the one-on-one with Ian, the head-to-head matchup, the final.
Oh, because he wanted to take Danielle. Was that what it was?
Well, he said that he was going to take Ian, I believe, was the cross promise, wasn't it? But he was visibly frustrated when he missed a question that Julie asked him in that final part of the HoH.
Got it. By the way, if you missed our interview with Dan Giesling, he was with us on Wednesday. Would have been a good question to ask him if I'm going to be Monday morning quarterbacking myself, Brian.
I think you did a great job with the interview, Rob.
It was very fun. Dan was very, very good. If you missed that, you should check it out on robhasawebsite.com. So, it's almost ballsy the way that Cody talks about his alliance with Derrick in front of Victoria. Don't you think that isn't Cody just totally disregarding Victoria and has no idea how close Victoria and Derrick are?
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, is it possible that he knows that he's been outmaneuvered on that front and that he can't do anything? Because I think that it's out of the window of the whole we're mad at each other thing. They're supposed to be keeping this whole charade up about Victoria and Derrick being mad at each other. That's not really panning out.
It just almost seems like he's not even respecting Victoria as a competitor when or a competitor is probably the wrong word. He's not respecting Victoria as a threat to his game. And while I don't really respect Victoria as a competitor either, I think that Cody needs to be more aware of the threat that Derrick could take her to the end instead of him.
I think he is aware of it to an extent, but possibly he doesn't project that he's aware of it. But it's possible that he is what I'm trying to say.
And I know this isn't, we're not quite up to the spoilers yet, but does Cody ever have a conversation with Victoria and say, like when Derrick's not around?
Yes.
About the game?
I mean, not really, because, I mean, Derrick would never even have, well, he has had conversations with Victoria about the game later in the game, but even like early in the game, he told her that she wasn't smart enough to have game conversations with.
So Derrick told Victoria she's not smart enough to have game conversations?
Yes, because it was during that whole Zach thing when Zach had told her some of the information, and part of his, getting back, repairing the damage was him telling her that the reason he didn't share those things with her was because she wasn't smart enough to process it intelligently.
Does Victoria feel like she has a shot to win the game?
Yes.
Who's she going to beat? She's going to beat Derrick?
I believe she thinks that someone will take her. I mean, her strategy is really hoping for the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's worked.
Yeah. That she's in the category. She's so bad that she's good.
Yes.
She's so bad she's good.
So bad that she's good.
I would love to see her get to the final two and then be mad at the jury when she doesn't win, like really call out like the bitter jury when she doesn't win that she was the best player. Like she sort of like comes away from the same thing like in the way Frankie Grande did of like I was the best player this season and you guys are all bitter jury. I think that would be a pretty funny thing to end up seeing.
If she made it to the final two and ended up with the jury questions, I'm sure that they could probably badger her into going off on them easily.
Mm-hmm. I think that would be fun.
Exactly, but I mean, obviously, I was going to say obviously Derrick would have to win the final HOH and take her, but I'm not even sure about that anymore. I'm not going to rule out that Cody wises up at some point.
Okay, well, let's talk about some of the clips that we watched, Brian. I have to say, I really did enjoy some of the stuff from the beginning of the season to go back and look at the bomb squad, the formation of that, and just how kooky Devin ended up being, where he ended up bringing in all those guys to the bomb squad, where he ended up doing the big speech, talking about how he played this game he plays this game with honor and in an integral way, and I'm not going to compromise my integrity for $500,000 or for $500 million, bro. I've got a daughter. And for $500 million. $500 million. Think about that, Brian.
That's a lot of money, but, I mean, would you compromise your integrity for $500 million?
Yeah. First off, hey, newsflash here, everybody. Hey, Devin. You're on Big Brother, okay? You're not president of the United States. You are on a silly summertime game show, okay, with 15 other people who are trying to who are just like attention seekers. You've lost your integrity a long time ago, sir. You are not really. I mean, for $500 million, like I'm not gonna put Donnie on the block for $500 million because I just want to walk out of here with my integrity. Come on.
If for $500 million, you should explain to the viewer exactly how you are sacrificing your integrity for them.
Yeah. That's a lot of money.
It's good money too.
It's good money. That is, they, really, what is that, 100 times what you would win if you won Big Brother, or is it 1,000 times?
That would be 100 times.
Yeah.
Unless you're Derrick.
Unless you're Derrick. Yeah, Derrick. I heard that they were going to give Derrick, if he made it to the end, he was going to get $500 million.
Well, I mean, he may talk them into that by the time this season's over with.
Do you think is Derrick? We need a word for Derrick that's like misting. Like, what is it called? What is the Derrick verb?
Oh, macing.
Macing. Okay. Well, that's a little. That's a
No,
little.
it's
Yeah,
not. That's not the
that's not
word. I
good.
mean, I just
That's not good. Derricking. I don't know. Maybe he's like putting his Derrick. His
bashing
no.
your teeth in.
Yeah. Uh, let's not do that. Um, anyway, what else stood out to you, Brian? What were the things that you thought were very fun to see tonight?
I mean, obviously, the super wedgie from Nicole I thought was amazing, and it was good to see that. Everybody in the house was for sure that had been shown, and they were all can't wait to see it when they get out of the show. But I mean, it's amazing that it lasted that long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, how about the individual packages that we saw for? Let's go through them one by one. Who got? You feel like everybody ended up getting a good edit tonight?
I mean, Devin didn't really get a good edit, did he?
Yeah. But they put everybody over. They gave everybody a hero edit. Donnie certainly.
Oh yeah, yeah, and it was a feel good kind of episode, just where you can go back and reminisce. I mean, there was the Nicole, we went over the Nicole Hayden showmance thing, and we got to see like one of the fun clips of her like throwing the proposal ring onto the ground.
Yeah.
And that killed, of course.
Yeah. Let's talk about the people that they did not get anything, and basically the people that they didn't care about enough to show us about. Christine. Almost non-existent in the recap episode.
She was basically non-existent. I mean, nothing, right?
Yeah, I mean, basically, production is telling us who they did not think was a significant part of the season. Jocasta.
We did get to see her in her heat exhaustion.
But that was about Donnie.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the Donnie segment. Plus, we saw a little bit of Paola in the Donnie segment, because they had a strong relationship.
Yeah,
and then Paola with the Zach thing too.
Yeah, that she really again somebody that they did not really care much about. No sign of Joey or Alex.
No, and we didn't really see much of Amber or Brittany.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they didn't show us Brittany scoring the soccer goals. I'm sure she was probably bummed out about that. And we didn't get to see the whole Joey Alex shenanigans.
I think we probably saw enough of the Joey Alex shenanigans there, Rob.
Do you think that Joey will come to the finale on Wednesday as Alex?
No, I do not think she will go as Alex.
Yeah.
But I could say yes. That's the rule that you're just supposed to say yes.
You could. I mean, if you're doing improv, I think that's the rule. But I think if you're giving us predictions, I think that would be you'd throw everybody off.
Well, Kyle, sometimes I want to be improv because I think the question's rhetorical.
Okay.
And I think it should be apparent.
One of the things that I think would be fun to do along the way, maybe during the show tonight, and then also as we get through this in the next couple days. Scott, could we also look at the hashtag finale predictions or BB16 finale predictions? Let's do that because we did that with the Survivor finale, and that was very funny. Some of the stuff that you guys came up with along the way. So maybe by the end of the show, we'll have a few of those that we'll get to read for your BB16 finale predictions. So the competition ended up starting tonight, the first leg of the HOH. You know what? Let's jump into some questions here. Let's field some questions, and then we'll talk about what's going on in the house as far as the HOH goes. So let's take some of your questions and start with this one from the great Pickle in a Banana, who says, are 3/4 of your episodes going to be past clips of Rob as a podcast? No. We will talk about what's happening now and sort of set up Wednesday in this episode. We will not be doing a clip show because those are very hard to do, the clip shows I found. I've done some clip shows on Rob as a podcast, and it's a lot of work, Brian.
Yeah, because you have to make so many podcasts. I mean, you have to watch a whole bunch, man.
Yeah, it's actually way more work for me to go back and find the clips to put in a podcast than for me to just talk about nonsense for a new 2 hours.
Yeah, so I mean, it would probably help you more if people sent you clips, right? If they saw something and just sent you the clip.
Yeah, that would be much better if people could sort of just keep track of where the clips are. Almost like I need like a U of the podcast when I say hey, where are the good clips? And then you could just say like August 18th. 4:03, 4 minutes and 5 seconds into the podcast. That was when you asked this question, like how you gave that stuff to Dan. That would be ideal.
Right, right. You got to come with the flashback times. That helps. I mean, flashback times always help people out when getting to the story.
Yeah,
quicker.
And that would help me with trying to do a clip show.
Yep. So since Rob, some flashback times, y'all.
Okay, this is from Shepherd6 says, do you think that even if Cody takes Derrick to the final two, Derrick still doesn't win against Cody? Do you think that even if Cody takes Derrick to the final two, Derrick still doesn't win against Cody? I mean, I think Derrick will win against Cody. I want to make sure I'm answering that question correctly, right?
I do believe Derrick would win against Cody, just based off of how he's been able to manipulate people throughout the game. I think I do think Cody will come out swinging though in the jury question segment.
Is there anything that, or are there any people that like Cody more than they like Derrick besides Christine?
In the House? Well, I mean, Cody thinks Christine will not vote for him, or at least he's been saying that publicly in the House because he voted against her. And they blindsided her, so I think he feels like she would be mad at him over it.
It's almost like Cody invested everything in Derrick, which was the right thing to do, but all of his other relationships I feel like suffered because he invested so much time in trying to make sure he was close to Derrick.
I mean, I really think Cody did the right thing by exposing the hitman the way he did, because he almost kind of takes a lot of credit away from Derrick based on his game moves. Now, we may know exactly what happened and how much control Derrick actually had over Cody in the game, but maybe Cody has managed to shift the narrative slightly into his favor with the jury by sending Caleb out with that.
Yeah. I wonder, is it almost like then Cody is able to say, he's framing it like Derrick and I, the whole game, we did everything. Are the people in the jury going to be like, oh my God, Derrick had all the blood on his hands. We didn't even know Cody was behind the scenes pulling all the strings.
I don't think. I'm pretty sure that they'll have a good grasp of what went down, especially since they were pretty much of the mindset that Derrick was controlling things anyway. It'll make sense to Zach that Cody and Derrick had that final two, no matter what the hitman or whatever, because he was in final three with them, called Los Tres Amigos or whatever it was called.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a question. This is from Scott St. Pierre. He's thrown up the finale, the hashtag BB16 finale prediction. So we'll use that tonight and use it over the next couple days. Send me your BB16 finale predictions. I think there's going to be some fun stuff along the way. Let's go to Toxic 2 Panda. Says, do you think that the way Frankie is, he could get the jury to vote for Victoria? Could Mr. Grande, the most powerful juror in the world, could he potentially change the vote for Victoria to win?
No. I consider what he said in that episode as like an empty threat, because you think about it. If he goes into the jury house and starts bossing people around and telling them who they're going to vote for and what exactly they're going to do, he's not Derrick. They're not just going to do what he says.
When Frankie goes to the jury house, what do you think Zach's reaction to him is going to be?
I think it'll be mixed. He'll be glad to see him, but he'll kind of laugh at him, and I told you so kind of way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that Zach is going to be very forgiving towards Frankie.
Zach has been a very forgiving person throughout the season.
Yeah, I think so. Nice guy. He's got a big heart.
Well, that's the reason I liked him is because that's what he played with. He played with heart. He was extremely dedicated to entertaining us, even to his own detriment. So I appreciated that.
Who's going to be most upset when they watch the episodes? If
wow. Christine.
Why? Because they showed so much of everybody talking about her flirting?
Yeah, just because. Oh, she won't understand. I mean, I still don't understand why she was booed that bad. You know, I mean, is it really because she was a threat to traditional marriage?
I think,
That
well,
sounds ridiculous to me.
also that some of the things she did, like when she told Hayden that, she told Nicole that Hayden was trying to get with Victoria.
Oh
That was
yeah.
sort of a lowdown thing. She also was really mean about Zach at one point.
Oh well, everybody's been mean about Zach at one point. I mean, I've been giving Cody like a free pass, but he's been like hand in hand with Derrick this whole time. And if he's going to start thinking and having a brain of his own and exposing the Hitman Alliance, for his game, then maybe he deserves a little bit more credit for bashing everybody in the house.
Okay. Let's go to Andrew M., who says, anyone else think that this episode is basically telling us that Frankie and Zach were the stars of the show with how they placed and ordered the clips? Not that most of us probably didn't think that. Are Frankie and Zach the stars of the show?
No. I guess if you get into consideration of villains as stars, right? Because Frankie does get the star treatment.
Yeah.
From like the show itself. So, I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, Christine was definitely just a villain that wasn't a star of the show, but I think
she was a villain that wasn't like treacherous.
Christine wasn't treacherous. I mean, I don't know what treacherous would even mean.
Like she wasn't a threat to anybody.
Oh well, she was a threat to Zach the whole entire time.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about our next question, which is from Dominic Pell, who says, what is preferred, a longer season or a shorter season of Big Brother? The last 2 seasons have been 90-plus days and are considered 2 of the worst, while the Canadian season goes around for around 70 days. Brian, what do you prefer, a longer season or shorter season?
I prefer a shorter season.
Yeah, I think
between 70 and 80 days is about right. I mean, I can, in special situations, see extending it longer because it might just be too awesome of a season.
Yeah. Here's why they extend it longer is because it does good numbers and they want it to last up until the fall season kicks off, which keeps getting pushed back later and later. So, I mean, Big Brother used to start the week after the 4th of July. And now it starts 2 weeks before that. And this year, last year it ended on, I think it was September 18th was the finale, and it's a week later also. So this is 3 weeks longer than Big Brother used to be.
And I'm not sure, but I think they've been getting pretty good ratings. I mean, better than
good.
Right. So as much as we want to complain about it and say that it's like worst season ever or whatever, those aren't bearing out. That's not bearing out in the numbers. So.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Look, people love Big Brother, and people are going to watch it when it's on. And, we say, oh, this season wasn't good towards the end, but we all said the first month that it was a great season.
Yeah, and part of the thing, too, is it not being good sometimes is very enjoyable, right? Like, even like some of the negative things that happen along the way, we're supposed to analyze it and learn more about ourselves, I think. And a lot of times we just get mad and just throw our fits, and I'm guilty of that too, and I apologize.
It was just got very straightforward along the way. It was lousy because there were very few twists and turns.
Oh, well, my opinion on that was pretty much after Nicole was evicted, the last variable person was out, and all you were left with was a bunch of bashers. And then Christine was evicted and became the scapegoat and got all the booze. And then after that, it was pretty much it was a character. They were trying to make these people like seem like more digestible, I guess you could say.
Yeah, more palatable.
Yes.
Okay. Let's take a couple more questions. This is from Cell70. Joey was able to talk about America's favorite player or Team America. Can't Frankie and Donnie or Derrick tell the house guests if they want?
Yes. Okay. So they have if what we're discussing is what was said by Julie about, or the letter that was read by Joey about, she can tell others about that she's on Team America or whatever. What she cannot do is tell other people that other people were on Team America with me. She didn't know about other people on Team America when she got that letter. But in subsequent conversations between Derrick and Frankie and Donnie, pretty much Derrick, they cannot tell on each other. They cannot rat each other out under penalty of forfeiture of money, and there's a contract. Out of Derrick's own mouth said that they signed contracts as Team America.
So if, okay, how about this, Brian? If Joey didn't get kicked out the first week, who would not have been on Team America?
You got to figure Frankie, the push from the fans. I think Frankie would have definitely been on it. Donnie would have been. I think Derrick would have been the last one out.
And how different would this season have been had Team America been Frankie, Joey, and Donnie?
It would have. It would have been different, but I think Zach not being in it. I think if it would have been like a week later, Zach might have been in there with Frankie, and then that would have secured Zach-Frankie alliance. And they could have been like a formidable power couple in the game.
If Derrick wasn't in Team America, would he be in the final three?
I say no.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All right.
Because he falls victim to maybe he's in the Zach spot at that point. Like, no matter what he does, he gets screwed over by Team America.
Oh, my God. So it's all Joey's fault that the season was as predictable as it was.
It's not Joey's fault. She didn't make up the Team America twist.
She tried to start the Women's Alliance, and then she asked everybody to be in it, and then she tried to then go after Devin, and then that's it.
Yeah, and she got read out by Amber, who Devin had so smartly, like the night before, like got her into the alliance so she could rat them out.
You know, Amber is like the perfect smokescreen. She'll tell me if Joey is doing anything. Christine is a beast. Yeah.
She did, but actually, if I do remember correctly, Derrick saw them talking first and went up and ratted them out before Amber went upstairs to rat them out. So it's pretty much credit goes to Derrick for ratting the Girls Alliance out.
Okay. Let's go ahead and take a question here from Lance Davis. And Lance says, hey, Rob, now that the season is winding down, we're closing in on the end of Big Brother 16. Who are some of the players, house guests, you can see coming back to play the game once again on a future season of Big Brother down the road? Thoughts? Okay, well, I could narrow it down to who's in the conversation. Those people are Donnie. Okay, so Big D.
Right.
We got Donnie.
Zach and Nicole.
Zach. Nicole will be like the backup if Jordan doesn't want to play again.
I kind of feel like Zach and Nicole are like too good. I think they're too good together.
Donnie, Zach, Nicole. I think Frankie's in the mix, and I think Derrick is in the mix.
Do you not think Hayden's in the mix as well, just for being showmance with Nicole?
No, well, if they brought them back, if they did like another season like Big Brother 13, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
I think maybe Frankie being brought back might be more of a reality as a mixed season, right? Instead of straight up all-star season.
So why would you bring him back for a mixed season? Why would that be more appealing?
I don't know. It's because I think there would be a lot more people that haven't watched the show, right? And may not know who he is.
I don't think that
they might see him and get like starstruck.
Like I don't think Derrick will play again. I think that he'll feel like he's too big of a target and he won't come back.
I would like to see him play again, actually. Because I want to know. I want to know. See, in this season, it's like think about it like as an Olympic diver, right? The competition was just so weak. All he had to do was like single flips to win the competition. I want to know what kind of player he's like when he has to actually attempt a triple flip with a half twist.
It would be good to see. How about Devin? Do you think we would see Devin back on an all-star season?
I I don't think we'll see Devin back in All-Star season.
Oh,
I
how
don't
about
think Devin would want to do it.
Beast Mode Cowboy overlooking him?
I don't think Beast Mode Cowboy will be back. But, of course, I could be wrong.
You need hot guys.
Yeah, but there's a million hot guys.
Yeah, could be. I think Beast Mode Cowboy could be an interesting person. I think they were very happy with Beast Mode Cowboy by the end. I mean, Beast Mode Cowboy was kind of carrying the show towards the end of the. At the end of the day, Beast Mode Cowboy had to carry the show with my Judy chops and my black belt, and I mean, there was like whole segments that just about, oh, Beast Mode Cowboy is wacky.
Yeah, he was calling out Jet Li and Jackie Chan and doing his roundabout kick and then busting his whopping out. Yeah, that was hilarious.
Okay. Let's do one more question here. This is from Rancy Pants, who says, what will Derrick, Cody, and Victoria say in their final two speeches if they make it to the end? Can you act it out for fun? Well, I think that Derrick's going to be pretty straightforward, right? That what he's going to say, like he played the game hard, he schemed and plotted the whole way. Cody's is going to be trickier, I feel like.
I don't know what. I think Cody will go back to the. I think his speech to Caleb is what we should expect from Cody.
Mm-hmm.
I had this alliance with Derrick day 2,
mm-hmm.
and that we worked together all along the way, and it's about stealing. It may not be for him about stealing credit for some of Derrick's moves, or telling them. It may for him be like telling them that he is responsible for some of the moves that they may think were him. But they may think that no one knows about all their big moves.
That's possible. So
they might end up fighting over who made what move.
Yeah, I could definitely see Cody thinking that is more responsible for how things went. And Victoria in the final two, it would be funny, but she can't make an argument other than she made an alliance with Derrick. I mean, I would like to hear her give the Batman and Robin speech.
She would be like, "You guys are so bitter. I don't know where you got that pink hat from, Zach, but it pisses me off."
Yeah, I could see it. Let's talk about who's in what has happened so far in the competitions, and I want to thank Michelle Hudson, one of our listeners, who, in addition to when we had the broken taboo buzzer, Rob's taboo buzzer on Twitter sent me one. But check this out, Brian. This is a bedazzled RHAP taboo buzzer. Check this out. It says Rob has a podcast around the side, and it has a very manly bejeweled RHAP taboo buzzer. So check this out. Awesome. How you like that, Brian?
Customization.
Thank you very much to Michelle for that. We really appreciate it. Okay, so Brian, tell us who won the first leg of the final HOH?
Cody won the first part of the HOH.
Now, did Derrick and Cody take it down to the final two?
Yes, Victoria slipped off. I think I heard her say. She also asked within an hour.
Okay.
Probably a lot less, but I don't really know, right, because of the feeds coming back. But she asked Derrick afterwards if he threw it, and he was kind of like pissy about that. He asked Cody if it sounds like he tried to convince Cody to let him throw it, because Cody was kind of pissy at Derrick because he thought Derrick was scared of Victoria. So I think the pitch was, you might have a better chance at beating Victoria in the second part, so let me have this. And from my understanding, Cody refused. So the reason Victoria thought Derrick might have thrown it was because he let go when it was low or something, and she didn't see him fall. And that's how he explained it to her, that he didn't want to fall from such a high spot, and so he let go at that point.
All right, so now it'll be Victoria versus Derrick in the second part of the competition. And have the feeds come back yet? I think they're having it right now, Brian.
Are they having it right now? I knew there was some question about when they were going to be having it, and they weren't sure.
Okay. So what do we suspect is going to be happening right now when we come back? Derrick has won part two?
If the POV is indeed going on right now, I would be an idiot to say that Derrick wouldn't win it because, I mean, he has been taking it seriously. Even though he's going against what everyone would consider to be an inferior opponent, he has been studying with people by himself. He is not throwing it. He's going at least to beat Victoria.
Yeah, and this will be the part of the competition that's like on day 7, connect, this person was this, like it's some sort of like, put the HOHs in order or something like that. Something I think that would play to Derrick's strong suits, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's so, at the same time, I'm like, isn't the real move here to throw it to Victoria? If both of these people are taking you, that's what he said at the beginning of this episode, that absolutely, end quote, absolutely, that both of these people were taking him to the end. If he really believed that, why isn't he throwing it?
Yeah, but I feel like that would be too cute, Brian. I really do. I think that Derrick should just win, pick whoever it is. If Victoria doesn't vote for him in the end, so be it. If Cody doesn't vote for him in the end, so be it. You want to control your own destiny. Take it from somebody who did not have the luxury of controlling their own destiny in the final 3, Brian. It's better to be the person who is controlling your destiny than the person who is not.
I will bow down to your expertise, Rob.
Yes. All right. So, Brian, we are getting ready. The finale of Big Brother 16 is only a few days away. On Wednesday, this will all be a memory. And I just wanted to take a moment and acknowledge you, Brian, because much like Cody and Derrick, who took it all the way down to the final 2, you and I have been the hitmen of Big Brother podcasting for quite some time. And this is probably going to be some news to many people, but this is gonna be it for the two podcasting bros of Big Brother.
Does that suck, Rob?
Yeah.
Are you gonna be sad to see me go?
Well, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, like Derek Jeter, Brian has decided that he wants to retire from live feed corresponding.
This isn't about me. I'm really not going to have the time to dedicate to covering it properly for Rob Has a Podcast, and I don't want to half-ass it. The community deserves better. You deserve better. I appreciate you, going out on a limb for me and having my back all this time. It's been like the thrill of my life to get to talk to you, report these feeds for the community, and be able to talk to all these amazing house guests. I really appreciate it.
Well, Brian, you've done such a fantastic job. You started with us on Big Brother 14, part of the 4-person team that was covering the show. After that, you went on and become the full-fledged Big Brother correspondent covering the Big Brother Canada live feeds. We went through the first season of Big Brother Canada. You survived watching the Big Brother 15 live feeds, which is battle pay and hazard pay in itself. And then all the way through the second Big Brother Canada, now through Big Brother 16. So it will not be the same talking about Big Brother without you, Brian.
No, I will miss it, and it'll. You forget about Opposite Worlds.
Oh, and Opposite Worlds. We made you watch Opposite Worlds too.
Oh yes, that was painful.
Yeah. Well, and I think what we're gonna do is I think what we'll try to do is have some tryouts for people to people think it's easy to do what Brian does, and it is not, because it's a thankless job where everybody thinks they could do a better job than you can, because that they saw something that you necessarily didn't see, or just sort of getting secondhand. And I think people are going to find out it's not as fun as they think it could potentially be.
Well, I mean, there'll probably be some growing pains, but I think everybody in the community should give them their full support when you do choose your new correspondent or correspondents.
All right, well, we'll have some tryouts as we get towards Big Brother Canada, and I'll have more information about that as we go along. But, Brian, I think that was one of the reasons why I wanted to do a show tonight, to get a chance to have a proper send-off with you, and have one more shot to do a show, just the two of us. And I do hope that we can have you back as a guest sometime during Big Brother 17 next summer, or even during Big Brother Canada.
Never. I'm just kidding. Of course, Rob.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And of course, Brian will be part of our finale coverage on Wednesday night. That will be anchored by Kurt Clark, who hosts our international Big Brother coverage on reality TV wrap-ups. Kurt is currently covering Big Brother Australia. If you want to check that out on robhasawebsite.com. And then also Ian Terry will be with us as well. The winner of Big Brother 14 will weigh in on the eventual winner of Big Brother 16. So really a jam-packed show coming up on Wednesday. And don't forget, on Saturday, I'll be talking about the preview of Amazing Race 25 with Jessica Leese. That's going to be live at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. All right, so keep your BB16 finale predictions pouring in. Very much looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say about that. Brian, it has been a pleasure to work with you all of this time, and I'm sure we're going to definitely keep in touch, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say about future Big Brother seasons going forward.
Open up that mouth.
Holla!
Holla.
All right, everyone. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.